Hey everyone, it's Ferric, and welcome to another pet making video. Now, I did record the clips for this video over a month ago, so the pet that I'm making this video is completely outdated, and I do not recommend you make a pet like this. However, the concepts that I use to make the pet are applicable to any other pet that you make, so I think this video will still be helpful for you. Anyways, enjoy this video. Alright, hello everyone, it's Ferric, and welcome to another pet making video. Now, before I get started, I did want to talk about this wizard a little bit. Skip to this time right here. It should appear on the screen to know where the actual pet video starts, but I do want to talk about this wizard really quick at the beginning. So this right here is my visionary fire wizard. This is my second wizard to ever get to max. I recently maxed it out, and I actually just finished farming for pretty much all the gear that I'm going to need. There's a few pieces that I could get to upgrade it to make the perfect set that I want, but since Caramel is coming out soon, and there's probably going to be another 10 levels to level up to, I don't want to get some of the harder to get items and waste a lot of crowns and money on it when they're going to release a new world when they're going to release a world very soon, and there's probably going to be a better set of gear. So anyways, I have the Dragoon's hat, the Malastare robe, which I just got today. It took me a while to get it, but I finally got that. And this I have because in order to get full power pips and accuracy, both for including shadow spells, I'm pretty sure you need both of them. Even if you don't, it's just safer to have the Malastare robe if you're any school it's not life, death, or balance, because they just give the Malastare robe just gives the most accuracy and pip chance compared to the Tennyson robe and the Rattlebones robe. Obviously, I have the soldier's boots, so technically I do still need the Dragoon's boots, but these are only a little bit lower in stats. They're like 2% lower in stats, a little bit lower health. And obviously you're missing out on the sharpened blade and potent trap, and also the equipment set. But for now, for the purposes of what I maxed this fire out for, which is helping my wizards on my other account level up a lot faster, I think these are fine for now. I'm eventually gonna, farm. I only need a little bit more materials. I either need to get the boots and get some crystals, or just get a bunch of crystals and extract and just craft the Vanguard's boots and the Dragoon's boots. But I have those. I have this Admiral's boarding hook. Now, I got this in very few packs, and I have had it for a while, which is why I even have this. I know the Primeval Horde pack wand is better, but honestly, I only opened one of those packs, and I have this Stompy Bronto. I got the permanent Stompy Bronto in the first pack. So if I actually make the pet, which I'm going to make in the video today, which is the Scratchy Frillosaur, I already get the important equipment set bonus of the 8% extra total damage. So I don't need the wand for the equipment set value. And also, if I want to make a max critical set with lower damage than the current best max critical set, then having this wand is really nice because it gives a significantly higher amount of crit. And the pet that I'm going to make today will basically ensure that I safely have 100% crit on this character without having to have perfect 18 joules, but still having very high damage. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have above 160 damage, which 160 damage max crit, I'm honestly really happy with that. Before this, if I was helping another wizard on another account, I was using my Storm with like 130 damage max crit, which this makes a huge difference, especially considering Fire has probably the fastest hitting AoE spell. I have Edge of the Shadow Web. Again, I don't need perfect joules with this setup since I'm using the Admiral's boarding hook. I crafted the Dragoon's ring. I have this, and the reason why I use this is it's only 5 less crit than the Darkmoor amulet, but I think like for farming purposes, the blades will be nice. I'll still probably get the Darkmoor one just to be safe, but we'll see. I just realized this beginning part of the video has literally turned into me just showing off the fire that I just made, which it does not have perfect gear by any means. This gear is definitely not perfect, but yeah. We have this Scratchy Frillosaur. Now, I do have this pet right here, but there's no way I can get max this pet. This gives me a lot of damage, but I will make a max critical pet. And since it's going to be a triple crit, triple damage pet, that's basically the pet I'm going to make, but I'll get more into that later. But the purpose of having the Scratchy Frillosaur is to get that set bonus with the mount. And then the deck, I mean, I do technically need the Paradox deck to get the best setup, but for farming purposes, this gives a lot of crit and block. And I think just having that wand over the Primeval wand just gives me so much crit that, sure, I'll have lower damage, but it'll be really easy to get to max crit. So yeah, that's my fire wizard right there. Let me actually... So with this, I have like, 160 damage, but with the equipment set bonus, it'll still be above 160, but I'll have max crit. Right now I'm at 86%. But yeah, so that's why we're going to be making this pet in this video. Anyways, let's move on to the part where I actually talk about the pet making video. So now that you know a little bit more about the wizard, I'm now going to talk about what pet I'm going to make. So the pet is going to be a triple critical, triple damage fire pet that is pain giver, fire giver, fire dealer, and any of three of the 4 critical talents, because there are 6 talents total that you can have on a pet, because there's also the jewel slot. So ideally, I would want pain giver, fire assailant as the manifested, because the other jewels like fire giver, that's going to be easier to socket. Fire striker is going to be easy to socket. That's why pain giver, fire dealer, fire assailant. Those are the 3 talents that I would prefer to have manifested, because it would save me from having to train the pet to ultra. If we do have to train to ultra and socket one of those jewels, I don't mind that much. But like I explained, it's going to be on the Frilosaur because of the set bonus. But the catch here is I won't be getting any help from anyone to hatch the Frilosaur. I'm not going to be using anyone's already made triple crit, triple damage Frilosaur. I'm going to be using a Generation 1 Frilosaur. So when I opened the 1 pack to get the Stompy Bronto, I actually got a Scratchy Frilosaur as well. So this is a Generation 1. As you can see, the stats are not max stat or anything. These are all the Generation 1 talents. If you look on the wiki, it looks exactly like this. And I will be hatching with a kiosk pet, basically starting from complete scratch. Let's say you're trying to get a pet from the kiosk. Let's say you don't have any good pets to start off, but let's say you have a Frilosaur or something and you want to make this pet. Well, this video is going to show you how to make a pet without using a blood bat, without using any of that. And the catch, another thing I'm probably going to be doing with pet making videos, starting with this one, is I'm actually going to show the number of hatches that I do, the total gold cost, including the cost to hatch the pet, as well as the amount of mega snacks that I use to make the pet. And I'm going to be documenting everything and not trashing any single pet until the video is over. I'm actually going to be recording all this stuff down. So anyways, I'm starting off again with around max gold, and the amount of pet snacks that I have, I'm only going to be using mega snacks for this. I'm not going to be using any plus 30 mega snacks, just the standard ones that you get from couch potatoes, as well as this 1 ambrosia I have. So the total mega snacks that I have is 129 Captain Cantaloupes, 1 ambrosia, 144 golden wheat bread, and 140 fancy yogurts. So I have all these written down, and I'm not going to be using, so this pet could technically take us a week, more than a week. I have no idea how long it will take me, but it all depends on luck really. But if I get more mega stacks from my other wizards on this account that have couch potato plots, I will not be putting them into this account, just so I can have an accurate count of exactly everything it took for us to make this pet, because that's something I should have honestly done since the beginning, because it is important to know that, you know, some people have a different amount of snacks. Some people can't, you know, like spend crowns or anything. I will not be spending any crowns. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but I will not be spending a single crown on this pet. This will be completely done as if you're a player that just has couch potatoes, which are generally easy to get, and a lot of gold, which is generally easy to farm. So anyways, let's get started. So the first step here is going to be to train our Generation 1 Scaly Frilosaur, or Scratchy Frilosaur to adult, and then look for a kiosk pet. Alright, so we got health gift and mana boost. Again, we're just trying to get the pet to adult so that we can hatch with the kiosk. So what we're going to go ahead and do now, go to hatchmaking kiosk, browse pet, and we're going to look for fire assailant, and we're going to look for fire dealer, because we definitely want to get a non-fail fire pet here. Pain giver, this is perfect right here. This is max stats. So we're just going to go ahead and pay attention to a couple things, because I do want to try to hatch with the same pet. So Slim Zo, and the number you want to pay attention to is going to be this smaller number, manifested talent and power score for the pet, which is 39. This is what will make it easier to find the pet later on. Hopefully this pet is actually available. Perfect, it is. So Evanescent Egg, I'm pretty sure that is the Frilosaur, because I'm pretty sure the Ornery Cuckoo, yeah, okay, perfect. That's really, really good. Trying to focus on what matters. So we got mana boost again, so. And we got critical striker, that's really good. If I can't find the same pet, then obviously I'll just hatch with another one, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna look for a pet that that has max stats and the same talents again. All right, so it looks like I did find one. This one, the hatch, is a little bit more expensive, but that's okay. Let's go. We're looking for an evanescent egg or something like that. And we got another evanescent egg. There we go. We got critical striker right away. And we got pain giver. Okay. All right, welcome back. It is late at night, so I do have to keep my voice down a bit, so I apologize. Dude, Slim, Zoe, and Archie, both first hatch, both gone from the kiosk immediately. That's really, really unlucky. Like, the odds of that happening are very, very slim. So first, before I write it down, I'm going to go ahead and check. Again, Old Spike is our most recent pet. Hatch with it to make sure it is available. And it is. And we got another evanescent egg, which is perfect. That would only help us in the pet hatching process. So we got Fire Dealer right away. That's great. I don't think I've gotten Fire Dealer before, so let's keep going with this pet. Pain Giver. Perfect, dude. That is really, really good. That's the third hatch. Are you kidding me? That's crazy, dude. That's 3 pets where we've only gotten 1 hatch. That's really, really unlucky. If we get another evanescent egg, that would be lucky. Let's see. We got another evanescent egg. Awesome. Potentially our 2 pets that we need, and we can start mixing them together. So we got critical striker. That's right away. That's really good. Pain giver. That's very, very good. So what I'm actually going to go ahead and do here. So we are 4 hatches in now. And I think it's safe to train one of the pets up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take Constable Dixie, which was our last pet. And I'm actually going to make sure I write this pet's name down. Princess Gracie. And I'm going to take Constable Dixie up to Ancient because, again, I always want to take the older pet up first. All right, here we go. Fire Giver, okay. I have to work on this pet again. So I'm going to keep on feeding it snacks, getting this pet to Ancient here. Again, we're still only 4 hatches in. If this pet succeeds at Ancient, we probably don't have to do another kiosk hatch again. That's just how it's going to be. And we got Fire Giver. That's a great pet. So for now, we have our 2 ancient bases, which is Princess Gracie and Constable Dixie, who is right here. So at this point, what we can go ahead and do is self-hatch these 2 pets and train that pet until it fails or succeeds or whatever. Yeah, so 17,500 gold. And then I'll calculate the hatch costs right after. Basically until it fails, or okay, Fire Assailant, that's very good. Actually, okay, so we're gonna train this pet to Ancient because then we want to take our oldest pet up first. Fire Dealer, okay, you know, a couple hours. And Critical Hitter. Ooh. You know, normally I'd be okay with this, but the problem is I need to have the better 3 crit talents to get the exact stats I need. So unfortunately, a Critical Hitter will not work for us. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and trash it, but I will write down that this pet is a fail. Princess Gracie, again, 17,500 plus 6,000 to actually hatch out the egg. I could probably cut out a lot of extra time from editing if I just showed the parts, and also time from, you know, having to, for y'all having to watch the video, by just cutting out the parts where I'm training it to teen, adult, and stuff like that. Only show the part where it either fails or where it succeeds at a specific stage. So there we go. Fire Assailant. So Lil Pebbles got Pain Giver, Fire Giver, Fire Assailant. All 3 talents are ones that we want. Of our 3 ancient bases, of our 3 successful ancient bases, we take the oldest, which is Constable Dixie, and we take it to Epic. And the reason is because this pet has the highest chance of, like, if there's anything wrong with the, like, pet hatching and anything like that, anything that's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong with this pet. So I'd rather get it out of the way, and this pet also could be the pet that succeeds right away. That's what happens in a lot of situations. So it's best to just train this pet straight up right away before doing anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and take Constable Dixie up to Epic. Here we go. Going to Epic. So we need either Critical Striker or Fire Assailant here. Fire Striker is also okay because we could always socket Fire Assailant at Ultra. But hopefully it doesn't fail here. And it got Fire Assailant. That's great. That's awesome. Alright, so I actually forgot to... I thought I was recording, but apparently I wasn't. And Constable Dixie actually leveled up to Mega. I honestly, I forgot to hit the record button, and so that's why we're not in full screen and there's no sound right now in game. But it did get critical hitter at Mega. Now, unfortunately, that is a fail because I do need critical striker on the pet instead of critical hitter. So I will have to do another hatch. So this time, all right. So for those of you that are a little bit confused as to what just happened there, basically, if I go over here to the Grumpy Gobblers, it is double pet XP and rewards, which is the reason why I actually didn't catch it on camera, because I didn't even notice that my pet's XP was going up so fast. And because I did not have enough energy to even get this pet up to Mega while I was recording. So then when it got Mega out of nowhere, I was like really surprised. I was like, wait, it wasn't supposed to get to Mega. And then I just noticed after I recorded that segment that it was double pet XP. So basically what happened with, I've named the pet Daisy now, because I was going to use this temporarily. But Daisy right here is Constable Dixie, I believe. Let me just make sure I have the right pet name here. Yeah, so Daisy right here is Constable Dixie. And now this is not a bad pet, but unfortunately with, like, you know, since we're trying to make the exact pet, even though this pet does work with my setup, because we're trying to, this video is supposed to show how to make the exact pet that I need, or the exact pet that I was trying to make from the start, this is technically a fail. I'm going to go ahead here and say that it's actually safe to train Princess Gracie here up to Mega, because it's already manifested Critical Striker, and that was the only talent we were missing out on. Alright, Princess Gracie is ready to get to Epic here, so let's go skip game. And please don't fail. Fire Assailant, that's very good. So we have Critical Striker and Fire Assailant. At this point, we could get Fire Striker or Fire Dealer. Those are the only two talents that I really want. Because with that, we'll be able to get the pet to pretty much what I said at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to go ahead, get this to 1 game away from Mega, and then I'll see you then. Alright, so as you can see, we are 1 game away, because it is double pet XP, so we are 1 game away from the pet getting to Mega. So let's see how it goes here. Alright, so again, we need Fire Dealer or Fire Striker. One of the two is fine. I honestly don't mind Critical Hitter at this point either, because I actually went back and calculated, and Critical Hitter actually still puts me at max crit. But I would prefer to get Fire Striker here, so here we go. Fire Dealer, there we go. Awesome. So, as you can see, we have made a max stat 2.0, pretty much. It's like the strength is off by a little bit, but it's pretty much the exact same stats. It's off by like a tiny bit. But Critical Striker, Fire Assailant, Pain Giver, Fire Giver, Fire Dealer. At this point, I just need to get a Fire Striker Jewel, socket it, and this pet is 100% complete. I don't even have to train it to Ultra. And I'm going to actually cut here, look at how much everything cost, and then give you a final total count at the very end. So yeah, I'll see you then. So before I end off the video, I did want to give a quick rundown on everything it cost us to make the pet. So the total gold cost for all the hatches, including hatching out the actual egg, was 498,000 gold, which, if you have a good farming method, takes at most 1 to 2 hours to do, assuming you start off with 0 gold. I obviously already had max gold, so I never had to actually do any gold farming. The total amount of days it took was 7 days. However, I did miss out on some days, and I mismanaged my time, so I didn't exactly get hatches every 12 hours, which should be possible, considering we're awake for 16 hours a day. So if you have 2 separate times, 12 hours apart, that you can hatch the pets, that's probably the best way to go about things. So 7 total days. The total amount of Mega Stacks was 204. Now, I'm just going to really quickly show you just as proof. If you remember how many Mega Stacks we had at the beginning, we now have 70 Captain Cantaloupes, 70 Fancy Yogurts, and 70 Golden Wheat Bread. So we ended up using 74 Golden Wheat Bread, 70 Fancy Yogurt, 59 Captain Cantaloupes, and 1 Ambrosia. So those are the snacks we used to get all the pets. Now, keep in mind, the total Mega Snack cost is probably not super, like, reliable information, because at the very end, we did end up running into double pet XP, which obviously made us require less snacks. So it probably would have been a little bit more than that. However, we also did get kind of unlucky with this pet. So we got lucky in the gold department by getting a Frillosaur every single time. but we got very unlucky in the Mega Snack department because we had 2 fails. One of the fails was Constable Cuddles, if I can find Constable Cuddles. This one right here, that's an ancient fail, so that costs a decent amount of snacks. And then the other fail was Constable Dixie, who is now named Daisy. Daisy failed at Mega, and that's a huge waste of snacks. So keep that in mind as well. For both of those pets, we did not try. I don't think it was not double pet XP, except for Daisy for the last like few snacks, but that only ended up saving us like 3 or 4 snacks total for Daisy, so I don't even really count that much. 3 or 4 snacks is almost nothing. And yeah, that wasted a lot of snacks for those 2 pets, so that's kind of unlucky. So if you get very lucky in getting the pet body that you want, then you're going to end up saving a lot of gold. If you end up getting lucky by not getting any fails at late stages, then you just end up saving on Mega Snacks. So I prefer, honestly, saving on Mega Snacks because those you can't really actively farm for that well without spending energy, which you need to train your pet in the first place. Meanwhile, gold, you literally, how much gold you have on a character is literally just how much you play the game, because gold can easily be actively farmed by doing things like halving and that kind of stuff. The total number of hatches I did was 6, so I had 7 pets in total because of that. Obviously starting with the Generation 1 pet, which is King Duncan, right here. And we hatched once with a kiosk pet to get King Brady. Then we weren't able to find that exact kiosk pet again, so we hatched with a different kiosk pet with King Brady to get Old Spike, which is right here. Then we hatched with another different kiosk pet to get Constable Dixie, who is, once again, we renamed Constable Dixie to Daisy. And then we hatched with yet another different kiosk pet. So we hatched with 4 total different kiosk pets. The last one was actually a Sun Serpent. The first 3, I believe, were ornery kookaburras. And we still got back another Frilosaur, which was Princess Gracie. And with Princess Gracie, we decided that Constable Dixie and Princess Gracie were both good enough to be ancient bases because we trained them to ancient. So once we got this pet and this pet, we were able to just do self-hatches. So what I ended up doing was we hatched those together to get Constable Cuddles, who is right here. And once we had Constable Cuddles, so we hatched Princess Gracie and Constable Dixie together to get Constable Cuddles, and we wanted to make our 3rd ancient base before taking one of those older 2 pets up. However, Constable Cuddles ended up failing at ancient and got critical hitter. So then from there, I rehatched Constable Dixie and Princess Gracie again. So Daisy and Princess Gracie. And we got Little Pebbles, who succeeded at ancient and got Fire Assailant, Pain Giver, Fire Giver. Now, I decided to obviously do my old method of taking the oldest base up first, which would have been Constable Dixie, which was Daisy here. And it was doing very well. It succeeded at Epic. I forgot exactly which talent it got, but it just needed Critical Striker at Mega, but it got Critical Hitter. That still worked for my crit set, but the pet video is not complete unless I make the exact pet. So what I originally would have done is taken Princess Gracie and hatched it with Little Pebbles. However, when I saw that Princess Gracie already had Critical Striker manifested at Ancient, that's good enough for me to take this pet up until it fails, because if it already has the missing talent from the previous hatch, then it's most likely to succeed. So from there, I trained Princess Gracie to Mega. I believe it ended up getting Fire Dealer at Mega. And then this pet is complete. At this point, I just need to socket a Fire Assailant Jewel, and it'll be the exact pet that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So in conclusion, 498,000 gold, 7 days worth of pet training. The total amount of time I spent training was actually only an hour and a half. So if you have the crowns, and this would probably, I don't know exactly how many crowns you would have end up spending on this pet. I spent 0 to make this pet. This was the only thing I spent was gold, nothing else. But if you do have crowns, then you could literally get this done in an hour and a half. And since I used 4 different kiosk pets, you didn't even have to wait the hour in between hatches. You could have literally just moved on to the next hatch. So 1.5 hours total to make this pet. You would have probably had to spend around $5 to $10 worth of crowns to do it, but you decide what you do with your own crowns. But anyways, that is how you get from a Frilosaur pet that you want to make, which has decent stats for a Generation 1 pet. I'm actually going to equip it here, King Duncan. This was the Generation 1 pet. As you can see, decent stats, but still not maxed. But with a few hatches, with a little bit of luck, I'd say the part that we got lucky on was we always got the Frilosaur back. We were able to make the pet in just over 7 days. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy all these pet making videos where I try to change up a few things from my original pet copying guide to see if I can improve it. Eventually, once I get to a point where I feel like I've found one specific method that works well almost all the time, I will go ahead and update that guide. But until then, if you want to be notified of when I upload future videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified of when I upload future videos. Follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description, twitter.com/ferric_. Join my Discord if you want to get help for PvE, PvP, pet training, gardening, all that kind of stuff. Stay tuned for that as well. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, have a good evening.